on the Hutchinson Report. A lot of announcements, a lot of, by the way, some new ads, some new sponsors, and as always, we got a lot of things in the news that are happening. We'll get to that a little bit later, plus our calendar of events. So just many things happening. By the way, you can not only hear the Hutchinson Report on KTYM, you can also listen to the Hutchinson Report online, KTYM.com. Many people are saying, I'm at work, I'm moving around, I can't do things, but I'm at a computer. We stream live, KTYM.com. Also, Ustream.tv. Punch up the Hutchinson Report. Not only can you listen to us, terrestrial radio, KTYM, internet radio, KTYM.com to stream, but also Ustream, that's with the U, the letter U, UstreamTV.com. Ustream.tv. When you go in, punch up the Hutchinson Report. We're up good to go. So we're covering all bases, audio, video, and very soon, one other thing too, cable TV. So we're moving forward with the Hutchinson Report. All right, this morning we have a very special guest, Los Angeles County Sheriff Lee Baca. Sheriff Baca is a good friend, a good associate. We've met many times, had many conversations at our Los Angeles Urban Policy Roundtable. The sheriff has graciously come several times, presented, discussed issues in the community, things that are happening, giving us updates on the Sheriff's Department, and just continuing the dialogue. One of the main things that we are concerned about, in fact, many people are concerned about in the community, and of course, Sheriff Baca is very concerned about it too. Headline story, one day ago, 200 inmates are released from Castaic. That's a detention facility up in the Castaic Newhall area. So it raised the question, with so much concern now among so many people within the community, and also that's been a major issue among state legislators and the governor, and certainly county officials and city officials. What's going to be the impact now of a release? And I don't know if we can say a mass release, but let's say considerable numbers released from not only jails, but also prisons. Certainly the county jail is one example right in front of us. But also, more importantly, what does it mean for the future? We know that crime and violence now is at a historic low level in LA City and LA County because of a lot of efforts. But nonetheless, many people are a bit concerned now. So what does this all mean? And the second part of that I want to discuss with Sheriff Baca, budget cuts. The Sheriff's Department, like so many other agencies, has taken a big hit. Just to put it in perspective, the Sheriff's Department, well, the general budget is nearly $1.3 billion in the general fund budget. I don't know if that's how accurate that figure is. That's a big figure. But my understanding is cuts are expected in the neighborhood of about $128 million over the next 16 months. That's about 10% of the Sheriff's Department's budget. So what does this all mean for us? Sheriff Lee Baca, are you on the line?
Good morning. Thank you for having me on your show. I'm very honored to be here.
Well, you know, it's always a pleasure, Sheriff. We've had many meetings over the years, and I just told our listeners out there about our roundtables, which we're always certainly very pleased when you can break away, make time, which you've always been very gracious about, and dialoguing with the community. Sheriff, the 200 inmates, that's the figure we've been given, that were released from the Castaic facility because overcrowding. Now, what really caught my eye, Sheriff Baca, was the possible release of many, many more. Could you talk about that at this point in time? What are we looking at now? Because many people are saying, are we going to be flooded now with so many prisoners and inmates that are being released? And the other part of that, Sheriff, who are these inmates that are being released?
Well, that's a very good question. I think, first of all, the cause of this is not necessarily at this point the overcrowding, if I may. It's the fact that we don't have the funds to sustain the system as a current whole system. The County of Los Angeles has done a great job of saving money, and we have really done well in the last two budget cycles where other communities are severely impacted by shortfalls of revenue. But the county's reserve allowed us to take on a couple of years of stability here. But this year, however, we have about a $400 million shortfall, and that means that all the county departments have to weigh in. And in order for my county, which is one of the bigger my department, one of the bigger departments, I had to weigh in early because I can't cut in 12 months $128 million from a budget as effectively as I can do it in 16 months. So I've extended the cut period with the idea in mind that it's less pain and not more severe cuts within jails or any other place in the department. And so the strategy then is to do the early release system so that all prisoners are serving time as opposed to some not serving time or doing just 10% as we did in the last recession. So that's kind of the starting point of the conversation. It's rather complex. A financial management problem has led to this early release program. But we're not releasing violent offenders. Domestic violence offenders are a very big concern for all of us. All the offenders are a big concern. But it's mostly the people who have been caught drinking and driving and now they're serving time, people that are petty thieves. Some, obviously, many of them are drug users who come in for misdemeanor offenses on the use of drugs. So our news is not good news, but it's not as critical as it was in the last recession.
And that was LA County Sheriff Lee Baca. Really, and it is an issue. The last few days I've gotten so many things from communications from people. We talked a little bit about having Sheriff Baca on the show. Some were concerned. I asked the sheriff, what's that going to mean in terms of public safety, our neighborhood? So hopefully some of the concerns are addressed. We'll be monitoring, we'll be following very closely. Once again, that was LA County Sheriff Lee Baca. You're listening to the Hutchinson Report. I'm your host, Earl Ofari Hutchinson. Quick time.